18 years old to 40 years old. Those are the faces and names that Dallas is relying on to get back to the playoffs after an uncharacteristic 2-year hiatus. But will that be enough? Hall of Famer Kevin McHale and Greg Anthony join me with answers and predictions next on our Dallas Mavericks Team Preview Show.
It's another level NBA. I mean, for me, it's everything new again. So, I mean, you have all these superstars here, and it's tough to play, so you need to adjust to it.
Hey, after missing the playoffs and back-to-back season, there's finally some buzz around this Dallas Mavericks team, mainly in part because of the guy you saw right there, Luka, one of the most hyped European rookies that we've seen in years. And after talking to the team and coach, it seems like that hype will be real. Are you guys excited to watch this kid play?
I really am. I mean, I had the opportunity to see a little bit of film on him over the summer, and what I was most impressed with was his ability to play with good players. You know, he's not a guy that has to be ball dominant. He's a terrific ball mover, really good passer, and he just seemed to have that clutch gene from the times that I got to see him, Kevin. And I think he's going to be a nice addition to this up-and-coming Mavericks team.
Yeah, he knows how to play basketball. Anytime you know how to play, the game is much easier for you. He moves the ball when it needs to be moved. He drives when there seems to drive. He pulls up and knocks down jumpers when he's open. So he's just a good basketball player. I'm not worried about him at all. I'm kind of interested in how this team blends together because you get some young guys, you know, Smith and he in that backcourt. They're going to be really young. Both of them can make plays, but Doncic probably is a better decision maker overall. So it's going to be interesting just to watch these kids blend and grow because at the end of the day, it's how good you are as a collective group, not how good you are individually, and that's what they've got to figure out.
One of the things that everybody seemed surprised with when they actually saw him in person instead of just on film was his size. Yeah. And, you know, they said he has quickness, but it's that deceptive quickness. You know, it's not necessarily his foot speed, but just the way he moves on the court and his court vision everybody was impressed with. When it comes to the European game, it seems like that deceptiveness with your quickness is something that we see more over there. From your experience, you know, what's the biggest adjustment from European ball to coming over and jumping into the NBA?
Oh, the level of athleticism he's going to see in the NBA is going to be very different than the level of athleticism in the European League. Even though he played in the highest level of the European League, which is very impressive league. It's the highest level of European basketball is much better than any college basketball here by far. So he's already been playing against grown men, which is a big thing. He's not afraid to go out there and see guys who are 30 years old. He's been playing against them since he's been 17, 16, 17 years old. It's a level of athleticism he's going to see. And then in the NBA, all the windows are much smaller. You get used to playing through a window like this and throwing passes through windows like this. In the NBA, that same windows like this, everybody's a little longer, a little bit bigger. So the athleticism and just the court just gets smaller.
And then also, from Dallas's perspective, determining what's going to be his natural position to guard. Because talking about those athletes, he's got to guard that position. And so whether it's the 2 or the 3, a lot of times those are the best athletes in the league. And I do think the acquisition, though, of getting DeAndre Jordan helps in that regard as well, because he's going to anchor that defense. He's a guy that can get out in space and help. But Doncic is the real deal. I think that trio of him and Barnes and Smith, how they come together, to Kevin's point, ultimately determines how good this Mavericks team can become.
And one point on the defensive end, everybody's switching now. Everybody switches now.
Right.
And so you're going to have to guard 1, 2s, and 3s, and probably 4s if you're Doncic. So that's going to be another big adjustment, just the speed of the guard and everything. But he's going to have to learn how to guard multiple positions. And I actually kind of like all the switching in the NBA right now. It makes teams make decisions. Like if you have a mismatch, you got a big on a small, who's going to be able to enter the ball? How much clock are you using to get to that mismatch and stuff? So I think this kid is really set up to be a tremendous player. And I wouldn't be surprised if he walks away with Rookie of the Year just because this kid's that good.
Well, one of the guys that showed his athleticism last year in his rookie season was Dennis Smith Jr., and they'll be sharing the backcourt together. I sat down with Dennis to ask him what he's most excited about when it comes to his new teammate.
He's a really high IQ player. He understands the game well. And so far, we've played in pickup together a couple of times, a fair share. And we've been doing pretty well together. So I think we can complement each other pretty well this season.
Yeah, how will he help you improve your game, do you think?
Get me more shots off the catch. You know, I shot a higher percentage off the catch last year, so I believe I'll get more looks like that this season.
One of the things that Dennis struggled with last year, he had great quickness, he got to the basket, but his shooting percentages were down. And so he worked a lot on that in the offseason. How do you see the shots opening up for him sharing the floor with Luka?
Well, I think they will. Most rookies struggle in the perimeter to shoot the basketball. Even the guys who are shooters tend to not shoot as well that first year because the game is faster, court's bigger, three-point shots deeper. And you're also playing against better talent. So I do expect him to continue to improve. But I do think what he talked about, to me, Dennis Smith Jr. is not that natural, instinctive point guard. He's a typical NBA league guard. He's going to be a score-first guy, which I think will help him playing with Doncic, who's a pass-first guy. And so I do think you're going to see his field goal percentage rise this year, in part because he's playing with a better overall IQ out on the perimeter. And I do think because of that, how cerebral Doncic is, that this young man will benefit from playing with him.
Smith will become a better shooter. You know why he wasn't a good shooter? He didn't need to be. He beat everybody off the dribble.
He really did.
He's just that. I very seldom do see great athletes come in the NBA with really good shots. But once you start playing against everybody, you realize that everybody's athletic. Everybody can stay in front of you. Everybody moves their feet. Your jumper improves. And so this summer, I'm sure his jumper improved a lot. What I'd like to see out of Smith a little bit more is a little more playmaking, off the bounce, finding guys. You know, the corners are usually filled. You have good shooters there. There's certain spots in the NBA floor now that are always filled. You've got to be able to drive hard to hit the back, the opposite corner if you're going right, hit the left corner, going left, hit the right corner, and things like that where he can get better. That drop-off pass late to DeAndre Jordan, those type of things. That's where I think Smith, his shot will get better, but I want to see him improve his just kind of playmaking.
Hey, if you're running point or you're coming off a ball screen, one thing you get excited about is throwing a lob. And now they have DeAndre Jordan in the mix, and I know both Luka and Dennis Smith are really excited to get to throw him the ball. Do you like this addition, and what do you think is the biggest benefit he'll bring to this Dallas team?
Defense. He's going to be able to block shots and rebound. You can't run, and I think they're going to be able to run. Last year, they were not a great offensive team. I think they were like 28th in the league in scoring or whatever. Right. But he's going to be able to get them easier baskets by playing defense, blocking shots, rebounding, then outletting the pass. You get those guys, Harrison Barnes, Smith, Doncic, you get those guys running the wings and get out ahead and get odd man situations. They're going to score easier because you have a guy in there to block shots and rebound well for you.
And the other thing he's going to do for them offensively, he's going to create spacing. And you don't think of a big who's not a force to score, but because you have to honor him at the rim, that's going to create better spacing on the perimeter. Then it comes down to...
You're going to have to play till you're 40. Because you're coming in and you're playing the position that... We just saw Dirk play the last couple of years, the center position, so that brings the possibility of him coming off of the bench this season. I think it's likely. What do you guys think?
I don't think there's any doubt that Dirk probably should come off the bench. In order for this team to take the next step, this can no longer be Dirk's franchise. And I think Dirk understands that.
I agree with you 100%. But how can he be 233 points behind Wilt? My guy, Wilt, that ain't right.
Isn't that crazy?
I'm just telling you, that's amazing.
What I love about him is he doesn't want to bring the franchise down. He doesn't want a big farewell tour. I mean, we have to view this season as we watch him on the court as potentially his last, which you hate to say. I think he could play 3 more years. I think this could be his last year, but he's not going to be the guy that wants every team to give him a big celebration when he goes out. And he did tell me at media days, I want to do whatever it takes to win for this team. And he is one of the most unselfish players we've ever seen go through the NBA.
Red Auerbach told me years ago, he said, great players have a really hard time going out graciously. Because what made you great is that you wouldn't give in. What made you great is that every single night you thought you could do it, whether you were hurt, whether you had one leg, one arm. You were like, there's a push in great players that you feel you can get anything accomplished. Right. He said that same push won't let you realize you're 40. It won't let you realize you're 35. And he'd always tell me, he goes, don't be like the rest of those guys, McHale. Go out graciously. You're not the player you were when you were 28. I think Dirk understands that. Dirk knows he's not the player he was at 30, at 40. I just can't do that anymore. But he seems to be handling it really well, and I'm happy for him. Great guy, too, by the way. Dirk Nowitzki is a great guy.
One of the best.
Young players, take note. All right, coming up next, we're going to look at the rest of the Mavs depth chart. Who else will the team be counting on to just survive in this difficult West? More on the roster and last season's leading scorer, Harrison Barnes, after the break. well-being of children. But we also had this from him. He just keeps entertaining us all summer long. Just had off-season drug testing. Told the guy, did you see me move last year? If I was on something, I need to change that product.
That's a great line.
Yeah, I don't think Dirk's juicing up. I think he did it the old school way. All right, now we're gonna send it over to the starters with more on Luka.
Skeets and Lee here from the starters with your next point about the Dallas Mavericks, and this one's got an award-based theme to it. True or false, Lee? Luka Doncic will win Rookie of the Year.
I'm saying false. I think Luka Doncic is going to be a very good player. I believe in the hype in him, but we just haven't seen him play at this level. We didn't see him at Summer League, which I was really hoping to. Now, I don't discount the fact that he was a superstar over in Europe, but this is a very good rookie class. I think DeAndre Ayton's very good. I think Marvin Bagley will be very good, and even someone like Kevin Knox, who could be a dark horse.
Colin Sexton.
Yeah, there's a lot of good players. And also, I think for a Euro who's been hyped up, I think the bar is a little higher. I think people are expecting an instant impact from Doncic, even though he's only a young player. So if I had seen him at Summer League, maybe my opinion would be different, but I haven't seen him, so I'm just saying no, he's not the favourite.
This is tough because I lean towards true because you look at the Mavs and you name some of those guys, Ayton, Bagley, Knox would be in the mix, Sexton. Their teams are probably going to be worse, in theory, than the Mavericks. So Luka might be helped by his team just being in the playoffs, being in the playoff race, if he can put up some points. He's got to score, because you usually got to put, 18, 19, 20 points like we saw with Donovan Mitchell and then Simmons' impact last year. You got to put points on the board to win this award, but he'll be helped. Again, I think by the Mavs being better than a lot of these teams like the Suns and the Kings and the Knicks and probably the Cavs.
Yeah, but I wonder just how much of that is going to come down to him and maybe the improvement of someone like a Dennis Smith there as well, who you expect is going to have the ball in his hands a lot as well. Look, I believe that Doncic will be very good, but there's a lot of pressure also coming in here as well. Remember, the Mavs gave up a second first-round pick to get him, so people are going to have a lot of attention on him and expecting him to deliver from the start.
Well, let's hear from you guys. Jump on Twitter, hashtag the starters. Is Luka Doncic going to win Rookie of the Year? Let us know.
And we have one more segment before we let you go, and it's perhaps the most exciting. Prediction time. How many games?